What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is day 6 of the 5th annual 10 Days of Pumpkin here on the channel. The beer I'm reviewing today once again comes from the Abomination Brewing Company, and they are a nomadic brewery that brews out of the 12% Beer Project location in North Haven, Connecticut, and this is their midnight snack, the Pumpkin Pie Cheesecake variant, and this is the 2022 release. So they're calling this one on the label a stout with cheesecake, vanilla beans, cacao nibs, and pumpkin spices. Even though they don't list it, I also know this is brewed with lactose. It comes in at 14% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. This can is just under 6 weeks old. So I saw this one last year, about a week or two after I finished the 10 Days of Pumpkin, and I was disappointed because it sounds delicious, and I really wanted to try it. However, last year I reviewed their Forbidden Pumpkin, which was a pumpkin milkshake double IPA, delicious, one of my favorite beers last year during the 10 Days of Pumpkin. So I grabbed this one this year. I made sure of it. And yeah, big Imperial Pastry Stout, 14%. I love pumpkin cheesecake. Let's see what this one's all about. I can't wait to get into it. Yeah, let's do it. Give it a nice pour here. Oh yeah, that looks like straight up, just like chocolate syrup. Holy shit, that looks thick. I'm gonna pour this entire can if I can, just because a lot of times with these Abomination pastry stouts, there can be like little goodies at the bottom and whatnot, you know. So yeah, that looks beautiful, a little cheap. So the one issue that I might have with this review and this beer in general is how sweet is it gonna be? It's 14%, it's an Imperial Pastry Stout. We will see. I don't know. Anyway, that is pitch black. Has about a half a finger of this dark brown, really creamy looking head. See if they can get some alcohol legs or sheets. Yeah, there's sheets on there. Definitely, I don't know. It probably doesn't show up on camera, but there's definitely sheets where the liquid touched the side of the glass. Yeah, it's pitch black. Can't see through it. Looks like a huge Imperial Stout of some sort. Let's get a nose. It smells crazy sweet. I'm looking forward to this one so much just because, I love pumpkin cheesecake. I've already had slices from 2 different pumpkin cheesecakes this year. Excuse me, I've already had a pumpkin roll. Haven't had any pumpkin pie yet. So I love pumpkin cheesecake. Does it smell like pumpkin cheesecake? Not really. Honestly, if I was doing this blind, I would not even tell you there's any kind of pumpkin in here. You know, pumpkin spices. That I am smelling basically a lot of vanilla, a lot of like a frosting note, like a buttercream frosting. Cream cheese from the cheesecake, right? There's chocolate, there's caramel, there's toffee, there's even like a little butterscotch, big Imperial Stout vibes with, again, more of a vanilla, buttercream, cream cheese type of feeling. I would almost be tricked in thinking this is like a s'mores Imperial Stout doing this blind. But here's the thing, it does smell sickly sweet. It smells like I'm gonna take a sip of this, and because of the ABV, because of the ingredients, that lactose, cheesecake, the sweetness from this beer, it just feels like, to me, it's going to be overly sweet and cloying. I hope that's not the case, because I would like to drink this. I would, but I'm not going to if it's crazy sweet. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Okay. I get more of that pumpkin kind of feeling in the cheesecake / pie in the taste. Is it sweet? It is. Is it too sweet? No, let me do another sip. I don't know if this is cloying now. I mean, 2 sips in, is it sweet? Yeah, it's fucking sweet. 14% is Imperial Pastry Stout. Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. But I'm not struggling too much. I thought the nose was just, I thought I would take a couple sips and be like, yeah, that's dumb. Anyway, body. This is full-on body. Like, this is syrupy. It's motor oil. You saw when I poured it out. It looked like chocolate syrup. It's so viscous. It covers the palate, too. The mouthfeel, it's soft, it's smooth, it's creamy. It has a decent carbonation, but it's real soft, smooth, and creamy. Yeah. The taste, here's the thing. That's kind of might blow your mind, and it's kind of blowing mine because it's 14%. I don't know how many times I can say that. Like 800. This review, 14% alcohol, right? It's cheesecake, vanilla beans, cacao nibs, pumpkin spices, especially the cheesecake. I know there's lactose. This is relatively light flavor-wise for something with all those ingredients, all those adjuncts, plus it being 14%. I just thought I'd be punched in the face with flavor, and I'm not really getting punched in the face with flavor. It's somewhat subdued and subtle and light flavor-wise. Let's try to break this down. Right at the forefront, sweet milk chocolate. That's what I'm getting right at the forefront. Sweet milk chocolate, caramel, toffee. There's a little bit of roasted malt in there, a little bit of coffee roast. There's definitely, you know, the base Imperial Stout's imparting flavors, for sure. It's not just like covered by the adjuncts. As it starts to pass through, I start getting some of the vanilla. And again, it's like vanilla. It's just like regular vanilla, but there's a little bit of that cream cheese, butter, cream kind of sensation to it, right? And then that's where the pumpkin pie spices hit. I'm getting mostly cinnamon and nutmeg. I don't know what pumpkin spices they're using here. They don't say on the label. I didn't really check for them. So I'm going to say pumpkin, or I'm going to say cinnamon and nutmeg is really what's hitting me. And that's like the first, say, 2/3 of the palate. On the back of the palate, I get a little bit of earthiness probably from the hops. This one finishes slightly dry with a mild bitterness. But it's also not, it's like, it's sweet, but it's not, to me, exceptionally sweet. And that, your mileage may vary for something like this. There might be somebody who takes a sip or two and like, yeah, no way. And then there are people who drink this entire can and be like, where's another? I don't think it's cloying to me. As it warms up too, I had this in my stout fridge. So this is like 55, probably high 50s at this point. As it starts to kind of, I shouldn't say warm up, as it opens up in the glass, a little bit more of that pumpkin hitting. Would I say pumpkin pie or pumpkin cheesecake? I wouldn't. Even though they call this the pumpkin pie cheesecake variant, I wouldn't necessarily say this. I think their Forbidden Pumpkin did a better job replicating a pumpkin pie or pumpkin spices in a milkshake double IPA than this is doing in a big Imperial Pastry Stout. This is good though. It's a good beer. It's just for 14% and all those adjuncts, I want a flavor explosion, right? Like the calories on this is probably like 600, 700, 800 calories. It's probably crazy amount of calories, maybe even like close to 1,000. Like it's 14%, all those different, like the cheesecake in there. Like I don't know if they're actually, you know, brewing with cheesecake, which is, they said with cheesecake, so I'd imagine it's probably high calorie wise. 14%. Here's the crazy fucking thing. This is, I guess, so I'm all over the place, but 14%, I feel a little warming in the chest. Nothing really on the palate. This does not indicate to me whatsoever 14%. If I was doing this blind, I'd say 10. So this is one of the best beers, period, I've had this year at hiding the alcohol. You're talking about 14% beer that drinks 4% lower. That's crazy to me. Where do I land this? So on flavors alone, we'll be honest, I'd give this like a 3.75, maybe. That's being generous, I think. I don't think the flavors are all that fantastic. They're solid, right? But the fact that it's hiding the alcohol this well, and I really like the body and mouthfeel. For something 14%, it's not thin. It has a nice, soft, smooth creaminess. I'm going to bump this up a little bit. So my final thoughts are that this is a good beer, albeit for something as big as this should be, the flavors don't indicate that, and that's a bit of a bummer. However, the body and the mouthfeel and the alcohol being hidden makes up for it to some degree. So I am going to give Midnight Snack the Pumpkin Pie Cheesecake variant, and this is the 2022 release. I'm going to go high 4 out of 5. I'll go 4.05. I think that's the best I can do, honestly. So again, 3.75 from a flavor standpoint, but I got to knock it up a little bit because of the body, the mouthfeel, and the fact that it hides the alcohol. I will say this. If you see this one locally, I would say grab it. Only if you really want to try it. Like, again, so price availability, this was $9 a can. Is that crazy expensive? No, it's 14%, all those adjuncts. I mean, I paid more for fucking heavily fruited sours that are 5%, right? So the price point is fine for something like this. The availability, Abomination, wherever you see their stuff, North Haven, Connecticut, 12% Beer Project location. They contract brew a lot of different breweries there. If you see this and Marlowe and who else is there? There's a couple other breweries there. I'm forgetting off the top of my dome piece. Skygazer. If you see those beers, you should see this one. And I'll leave you with this. This is good, but probably for me, the most disappointing beer of the 10 days of pumpkin. We're only 6 days in, but definitely the most disappointing. Had high expectations for it, and they kind of let me down a little bit. I will say, grab the Forbidden Pumpkin. They actually did a double Forbidden Pumpkin this year. Double the pumpkin, double the vanilla, I believe they said. So I want to try that one. Hopefully release it next year. I'll do it during the 10 days of pumpkin. But yeah, anyway, if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this one. If you had last year's vintage or this year's release, I'd be curious to know. I'm probably a little bit lower than the vast majority. If you go to Untappd, I'd imagine it's a higher than a 4 out of 5. But for me, just a little bit lacking. and it happens. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Day 6 in the books. Come back tomorrow, day 7. We have another pumpkin cheesecake beer, but this is a heavily fruited sour from Imprint, part of their Schmoogey Puffskull series, and I have no idea what to expect out of that one. Could be trash, could be delicious. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, to the next one. Cheers.